Yeah, or what's been happening?
Just in New South Wales with the family. That's
Yeah.
about it.
I'm looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, I am.
What do you miss the most about Victoria?
Probably just my own bed.
Who are you, and tell me about yourself?
So my name's Chloe Easton, but my family name's Delaney. So it's Chloe Delaney technically. My family's from New South Wales and I live in Victoria. I'm currently in New South Wales and my family's from Kamilaroi country.
How do you define aboriginality?
Probably as like cultural heritage. So who your family is and was, and like pretty much people before you and your family before you.
What makes an elder?
Wisdom would be a big one because like it's been passed down through generations. That's why they are the elders, because they've had things passed down to them by their fathers and mothers and uncles and aunties and grandmothers and fathers.
And what qualities make an effective Aboriginal leader?
Probably honesty and confidence. Confidence in like who you are, and like honesty about who you are and like where you come from, stuff like that.
What is one Aboriginal stereotype that you would like to break?
That all Aboriginal people are white, because through mass breeding and trying to breed out Aboriginal culture, a lot of people nowadays are half castes and castes, half castes. My sister is a lot lighter than me and my mum, and I know that she gets a lot of racism and people saying that she's not Aboriginal because she looks white.
How do you define racism?
People not understanding and identifying who you and your family are by saying what like part Aboriginal are you. You're not a part of something, it's a part of your blood, so you're all of that thing. Because I feel like there's still a lot of things like Australia Day. I know that there's quite a bit that people don't agree and other people don't agree, like saying it should be changed and it shouldn't be changed. And my family and I believe the date should be changed because it feels like like it's celebrating the death of our ancestors, sort of thing. And other people think it's just a day to celebrate our country now, but you can't like erase the past. So there will always be that kind of divided yes and no about certain things.
Have you ever faced racism?
Yes, I have. I've gotten quite a bit of racism before. People just saying like quotes and like things that like, oh, Australia Day shouldn't change. And like, I know that I've gotten some racism over my scholarship to the school. People saying, oh, I wish I was Aboriginal so I could get a scholarship.
How did that make you feel?
Not great, but you can't let those kind of things like make who you are. Like you can't dwell on them because at the end of the day, their opinions aren't going to affect who you are in the future.
What makes you so strong in that belief?
Because you can't let someone else define who you are, because it's ultimately your choices in life that make up who you are and what you want to believe in.
What makes you proud to identify as being Aboriginal?
Probably my family, because I know that my mum used to cop a lot of racism when she was a child as well, and she'd scrub at her skin because she believed that she couldn't be like a half caste because she was judged for it. So I believe that I shouldn't feel not proud like of who I am, because it is who I am.
What aspects of Aboriginal culture do you feel has been lost within your family?
A lot of language has been lost. I'm a part of my family is from one of the biggest mobs in Australia, but unfortunately a lot of the language actually has been lost. And I know that a lot of people aren't remembered, like, respectfully.
What are ways that you could connect with the Aboriginal culture?
I find that it's easy to talk to my great uncles about my family history and the things like that, because ultimately they were the closest to their mother and father that died just before I was born.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I do plan to work for a while after high school, and I would like to travel for a while because I'd like to experience what's out there before going into education and putting my head down for work.
Where would you like to travel?
I'm not too sure, but I know that there's some lovely places in Greece and Croatia and Europe that I'd very much like to see, and maybe even Papua New Guinea and the Polynesian Islands.
Do you have a favorite color?
I do. It's actually blue.
Why is that?
I love the ocean because I love going to the beach. It's quite calming. But the thing is, I actually have quite a big fear of like water, like large bodies of water, because of how many times I've actually almost drowned. So I can't swim.
Do you enjoy sport?
I do enjoy sports. I love running, and I did play netball, and I do play SIS a lot, like SIS soccer, softball.
I also play soccer. So how do you have a favorite position in soccer?
Defense is probably the best.
Nice. Is it a certain defensive position or?
I don't remember the names because I think it was probably last year.
Yeah.
But defensive near the goals. I can't remember what it's called.
The central defensive, or?
Yeah, that's it.
How long have you been playing sport for?
So my mother and father are actually quite sporty people. They used to both play soccer, netball, basketball, a little bit of tennis, and they both used to love running. Mum still loves running.
Do you have an Aboriginal hero?
Probably people like Jessica Malboy and Baker Boy, because they feel like their culture should be heard a little through song. And Jessica Malboy was one of the first female Indigenous main role actors.
Do you have any elders that you look up to?
Probably my pop and my two great uncles. My pop had 6 younger brothers, but not all of them are alive, so I do rely on my pop and his 2 brothers, my 2 great uncles, a lot.
If you could choose any superpower you wanted, what would you choose and why?
I'm not really too sure, but I know that with great power comes great responsibility, so you'd have to use it wisely.
That's Uncle Ben. Yeah.
I've actually done a speech at assembly about Adam Goods where I expressed my own personal views about racism before. So I actually already have done that. I've expressed how my family and my ancestors also experienced racism along with the stolen generation, and how I was trying to share my view and my story. Other Aboriginal students, because I don't find a lot of Aboriginal people that I know, and I find it's actually kind of easier to be friends with Aboriginal people because you can relate to them and they understand a lot, because they understand the racism and the kind of feeling a little bit out of place sometimes. I'm confident in who I am, and I believe that people that tell me that I shouldn't be confident and that it's not who I am are wrong, because they don't necessarily know exactly who I am and the past of my family.